what's happening right here now.
We're back. Wow, what a video! What just an amazing 9 weeks that we've had, and I'm so happy to have been able to share that with you because nobody was able to see any of that. Now we're going to turn our attention. We're going to mute me, and we're going to turn our attention to a few eighth graders. Every year we have one or two, or sometimes three eighth graders talk about what this program has meant to them. That's literally what I call this speech, what Bernard Zell Athletics has meant to me. These speeches are a little bit different than we've heard in the past because of that giant chunk of nothing that we had in the middle of it. But the lessons are the same, and I think you'll really enjoy listening. And so first up, we're gonna hear from Zoe Hessel, who has prepared and practiced a speech for us and for you tonight. So I'm gonna step over here, turn myself off. We'll highlight or spotlight Zoe, and we'll hear from her.
I don't think of myself as the most athletic person. Since I was little, I have always picked art and something creative rather than sports. When I approached sixth grade and had the opportunity to join the girls' basketball team, I struggled because while my friends were telling me to go for it, deep down, I was worried that because of my lack of athletic ability, I would be the worst on the team. After the first practice, I fell in love with the game. Even though I was not very good, it didn't matter because I loved playing. I liked scrimmaging with my friends, and it did not feel like I was judged for having little experience. I started practicing outside of school during the off season to try and improve. In sixth grade, I also was a part of the track team for the second year. Track to this day has always been something that I've looked forward to. In fifth grade, it was the only option of sports, so a ton of fifth graders did it. But in sixth, seventh, and eighth, it's something you choose over other sports. Track is different from any other sport because it's across all grades. You get to bond with younger and older kids. So even if you don't really talk to them during school, you see them during practice. One meet we went to, I was running the 100-meter dash. When I finished, an eighth grader came up to me and gave me a high five and told me that I did well. You create friendships with kids from other grades that last outside of track. The seventh grade basketball season approached, and I saw a change in myself. Not only had my skills improved, my outlook changed. I started to be more positive and have more faith in myself, which impacted how I played. I no longer looked at myself as the unathletic person I thought I was. There was one game in particular that season. I had been working on a play during practice where after the ball was passed in, I would sprint to the hoop and our point guard would pass it to me from across the court. Once I caught it, I would usually be open and make a layup. I could never do the play correctly in games. However, in practice, I would do it and score almost every time. In the games, though, I would psych myself out and miss every time. But this game was different. As soon as the ball was passed in, I sprinted down the court. My heart was racing, and I turned around to catch the ball and shot the layup. And to my surprise, the ball went in. Another memory I have from that same season was the championship game. After winning the first two games in the playoffs, we made it to the finals against a British school. For the entire season, our team's thing was wearing fun socks. Each practice and game, certain people would wear them, but never the whole team. But the championship game, everyone showed up in their different patterned socks. This included Mr. Casper and Coach Alex. At that moment, I've never felt more a part of a team. Even though we came in second, we played our hardest and I all really felt united as a team. This year has been like no other. You don't realize how much something means to you till you lose it. If I have learned anything from this pandemic, it's that you can't take the small things for granted. This year, we did not get to have the same athletics that we would normally get. We missed out on events like student versus teacher basketball game and full seasons we would usually have. At first, when I was told we would have athletics, I was worried because I didn't know if it would be as fun as the past years. But it has ended up being just as fun, if not more, because I thought I was going to have to leave my eighth grade year without having athletics. The athletic department has done an amazing job giving us a chance to play sports in a safe way. This year of athletics has been really special, not only because it's my last year, but also because I thought we wouldn't get the chance. I've gone to play volleyball, softball, and track. We even got to play a mock volleyball game, and Mr. Sheehan had all the parents come in on Zoom to watch. Even if we were just scrimmaging, it felt like a real game. Bernard Zell Athletics has given me a confidence that I didn't have before. I have always looked at myself as not as a non-athletic person, but the coaches and my teammates have changed my view. Athletics here are like no other. The community that you are surrounded by is amazing. When you play on a team, you win as a team, you lose as a team. You get to know people who you don't usually hang out with during school. This program gives you skills that you can't learn in school. You learn how to be a team player, leadership, respect, and confidence in yourself and others. The biggest lesson that I have taken from this program is that you don't need to be the fastest or the most coordinated to play a sport. You just need to have dedication and confidence in yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. First of all, what a fabulous job. Well done. You can breathe a sigh of relief and hug your mom and dad and punch Dylan in the arm and relax for the rest of the evening. Well done. I think what I'll always remember about your speech is how you practice outside of school after your first year to get better, and how you said how track it bonds kids, younger kids and older kids. And I thought that was really cool, because maybe there is a fifth grader right now that you gave a high five to that will say the same thing 4 years, 3 years from now. All right. Nice job, Zoe. Our second speaker is Jacob Gonski. He has worked equally as hard and has a wonderful speech prepared for you. So again, I'm going to jump off and we're going to highlight Jacob Gonski.
Okay. Let's see, gotta pull up my speech. Okay. In lower school, I remember seeing the big kids play sports on the field every day before and after school. I couldn't wait until it was my turn to do the same thing. When the opportunity arose for me to do track and field in fifth grade, I didn't hesitate to sign myself up. As I walked into my first practice, I felt a little uncomfortable. I was surrounded by students I didn't know and coaches I had never seen before. I put down my backpack and walked onto the field where everyone was making a big circle. The coaches introduced themselves and we went around the circle where everyone said their name. Then my first practice started.
Is
Flash
Jacob
forward,
spotlighted? Question mark.
Yeah.
Flash forward to the last practice. I'm surrounded by new friends, and people I've gotten to know well over the track season. The coaches who I now know have begun handing out awards from our meet a couple weeks ago. As my new friends walk up to get their well-earned awards, we all cheer. My name is called, and I walk up to grab a ribbon. I collect it and turn around to see everyone cheering for me, including my coaches. A couple more names are called, more cheering is done, and then it stops. Practice is over. My coaches and my teammates are saying their goodbyes. I look around at the community that has been built from the ground up over these several weeks and walk towards my backpack. Someone calls, see you next year. I smile, see you next year, school sports. I walk into sixth grade, ready to participate in track and field. Imagine my surprise when Mr. Sheehan said there would be more opportunities for sports this year, including soccer, volleyball, basketball, as well as track and field. I couldn't wait to try them all. Soccer came first, but it went by in a blur. At our first practice, we were all shy and nervous, not wanting to make any mistakes in fear of being judged by teammates and friends. Eventually, after many games and twice as many practices, we came together, not just as a team, but as a community. Just as soon as soccer had started, it had ended, but the basketball season had begun. The basketball team had a lot of people, and my first thought was that not everyone would get along. I couldn't have been more wrong. At the first practice, the whole team decided that the goal of our season would not be to win all our games, but to get everyone on our team at least 1 point. In our last games of the year, the finals of the tournament, we were winning by a lot. We begged our coach to put in the players that hadn't scored any points yet this season into the game. Since there were only 2, he agreed. As they walked into the courts, we all cheered from the bench. The time was running out, so we decided to put all our effort into getting at least one of them to score. Every possession, they would have the ball. As the time came to close, one of them threw up a shot. It bounced once, twice, then went in. There isn't a word to describe how loudly we cheered, but I can tell you, when I came to school the next day, I lost my voice. The fact that we won the game is barely memorable. What I will never forget is when we tried our hardest, we accomplished our goal. The basketball season was over, and the volleyball season had begun. I was not sure whether to join the volleyball team or not because I had never played before. When I realized that most, if not all of our team had never touched a volleyball, I decided to sign up. At our first couple practices, our coaches taught us the fundamentals: bump, set, spike. Practice after practice, we would begin to memorize these 3 words. In our games, we would put these 3 words to work. When we won our first game by a landslide, we knew that we could accomplish anything if we worked together and practiced hard. 6th grade was coming to a close, but I couldn't wait to do more sports in 7th grade. Spoiler alert, it would not go according to plan. 7th grade started and ended very fast. How can you do school sports when you're not in school and there's a global pandemic going on? Well, you can't. I would have to wait until next year. My last year at BZ, 8th grade, started, and although we were back in school, there was a lot to worry about, and unfortunately, school sports was not one of them. If it wasn't for the amazing teachers and coaches, we wouldn't have played any sports this year. Imagine my surprise when Mr. Sheehan announced that in May, soccer and volleyball would be available. I couldn't wait. Soccer started, and the soccer community I had built up in 6th grade came together instantly. Although we weren't able to participate in any games, remember, global pandemic, the coaches did the best they could, and we scrimmaged almost all the time. 4 practices later, the season was over. Volleyball had begun. I suddenly thought to myself, in 4 practices, my time participating in BZ sports will be over, and I'll be doing sports in high school. I realized how well my teachers and coaches have done in preparing me for the world of sports in high school. The volleyball season went by in a flash, and the team that couldn't hit the ball 2 years ago was playing full-on scrimmages against each other. Then, that was it. It was all done. My time playing sports at Bernard Zell is over. I will miss the community that made Bernard Zell sports something to look forward to every day. Thank you to the coaches for taking time out of your day and putting it towards coaching me and my fellow classmates. Thank you to the class of 2021 for supporting me along my journey and helping become the best athletes and person that I could be. Thank you to my parents for waking up early and taking me to practice at 7 a.m. once or twice a week. Last but not least, thank you, Mr. Sheehan. Without you, I don't even know if there would have been sports this year. Thank you for encouraging me to try new things and helping me along my journey at BZ. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the banquet.
Thank you, Jacob. We tried our hardest and we accomplished our goal. You can't get any better than that. And I'm always so impressed by our students here, how poised and confident they are and how prepared and articulate they are. And Zoe and Jacob certainly knocked those both out of the park. I hope that you younger students were paying attention, because next year we'll have 2 more people speaking, and I think of it as an honor. And I'm so proud of you, Zoe and Jacob, for accepting this role and for doing such an awesome job. Transitioning, 8th grade, class of 2021. This year's class, it's certainly a special one. I don't think we would have, when we think of these young men and women, when we think back to 6th grade, I don't know if we would have thought this is where they'd end up. We'd end up. You are determined and committed, and mature, most of you, some of the time, and resilient, certainly resilient. Your ability to struggle and overcome that struggle and that adversity, your ability to learn from each other and to get better and to pick each other up when you fall. And I watched that for these last 3 years. The way you support each other from the bench, as Jacob just said, they won the 6th grade championship, but more important than that was, let's try and get everybody to score. You're resilient, you're strong, you're humble. If you approach high school athletics this way, I promise that you'll find success. 6th grade girls, volleyball champions, right? You were on that JV team that won it all. What great experience for the 5 or 6 of you. 6th grade boys basketball champions. For the first time in school history, we had 2 7th grade teams the same year make the tournament championship. Both the boys and girls made the championship game last year in 7th grade, the first time that's ever happened. I'll remember a lot about you all. I'll remember late night softball in Georgia. I'll remember Asher Shank never being able to stop talking. I'll think about Sadie Levitt jumping over the hurdles in 5th grade, and Jacob Gonski, weirdly but effectively, serving in volleyball. Gavin winning most outstanding player in the 6th grade tournament. Gabe Cooper pretty much out hustling everybody at all times. Bennett won the JV long jump championship as a 5th grader against all 6th graders. The 7th grade soccer team, if you think back, it seems like a long time ago, you didn't lose a game, you tied one. Do you remember that game? We were up 5-1 with 4 minutes left, and we ended up giving up 4 goals in the last 5 minutes for that game to end up in a tie. I'm not angry about it anymore. I don't even really think about it all that much, but man, we were that close to a completely unblemished season. But 9 wins, 0 losses, and a tie, we'll take that. Remember, you learn more about losing or going through that adversity than you do about winning a game 8-0. The 6th grade girls, like I just mentioned, winning that championship in volleyball. I'll remember Ella and Alana and Zoe and Sarah coming up to me on the podium in Blum as 5th graders after Hannah Goldwyn and Corey Rudman won the Stiefel Award, and coming up and telling me we want to win that award when we're in 8th grade. I'll remember the zip lining and the whitewater rafting and Mia Ato getting on a horse. To be on Teul this year, that's a bond that we'll have, and I hope that lasts a lifetime. I enjoyed watching you play Frisbee and soccer and ping pong and dance and sing and jump in the river when you accidentally hit the softball into it. For helping me on the high ropes course, Cole and Ben and Morgan and Jacob. I'm not good at that stuff, but you helped me out of my comfort zone. Asher Friedman, remember when you and I zip lined and we raced? And it was you versus me. Well, Asher, not everybody is a winner in life. And that day I'm sorry to remind you that you were not a winner at that zip line course. And I'm so proud that everybody cheered for me after I defeated you. Asher, I love you, brother. That was so much fun. I want to personally thank this group for taking ownership and showing our younger students what it means to be an Eagle, for setting the expectation, for setting the bar high, for everyone on this call to follow, to show what it means to be a student athlete here, for putting in thousands of hours, for making this a priority, for missing it, and for coming back with your steadfast support. And I know that I am proud that I'll be able to say a week from now and forever after that, that I'm so proud that you were part of this program here at Bernard Zell. I'm going to go back over here to the computer. I'm going to share my screen and play this next video. Sit back again and relax. We're on the home stretch here. This is a tribute to our class of 2021. Enjoy. Also, who was that weird guy talking when Jacob Gonski was speaking? I think I broke my own rule there. Sorry about that, Jacob. You handled that very well, though.
a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. Blood is running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming now. We can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, knocking out bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible, 'cause we're unstoppable. Oh, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. Every spotlight, every soundbite, everybody who gave up is just a fuel for wanting him more than anybody against us. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming now. We can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, knocking out bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible, 'cause we're unstoppable. Oh, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. They can say what they want now. Still be screaming out. We can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, knocking out bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible. We're unstoppable. Oh, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You could beat the world, you could beat the war. You could talk to God, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You could be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you gon' find yourself.
Standing in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah,
and the world's gonna know your name,
yeah,
'cause you burn with the brightest flame,
yeah,
and the world's gonna know your name,
yeah.
and you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile, you can walk straight through with a smile.
You could be the hero, you could get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try?
Do it for your country, do it for your name. 'Cause there's gonna be a day when you're
Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name, 'cause you burn with the brightest flame, and the world's gonna know your name, and you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion, be a champion, be a champion. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name, yeah. 'Cause you burn with the brightest flame, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name, and you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the king, card hanging on your chest.
You can be the world, you can beat the world. You can talk a child banging on the wall.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock, you can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate your champion, find your voice.
Standing in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you to all of our 8th graders, and not everyone that has participated in a sport was in that video. We didn't have pictures of everybody, and there's been some kids that haven't played since 6th grade or what have you. Morgan and Emmett and Jacob Kundrell and Noah Tenenbaum were not in that video, but were a part of this program at some point throughout these last few years. All right, we're going to turn our attention to the highlight of the evening, the David Stiefel Spirit Award presentation. Many of you, if not all of you on this call, are familiar with this award. It goes to a very deserving boy and girl in 8th grade who exemplify what it means to be an Eagle. David was never someone I never met. I've heard lots of stories about him and his family. His son Danny was a student athlete here. Danny graduated in 2012, and Bernard Zell athletics, Pizades athletics at that point, was very important to him and his family. David never missed one of Danny's games. He was one of those. He was David Schreibman, right? He was one of those dads in the stands that never missed. That was always there. Whether on the road or here at school, David cared so much about seeing Danny's games. This award is to honor David's life, which was lost way too soon. He lost his life when Danny was an 8th grader here at Bernard Zell, and Danny often reflects about that experience he had and that trouble that he and his family went through, and the impact that this community had on him and his family during what is certainly probably the most difficult time of their life. So this award is dedicated to someone that's inspirational and very important to this community, and in particular this program. This award is not the best athlete. This award, it might be, but it's not dedicated to that. It's not who's the fastest or who scores the most points or who jumps the highest or throws the farthest. So in 2012, this program began giving this award out to a girl and a boy, recognizing that spirit that David had within him when he would go and see Danny play. It's the highest honor a student athlete can achieve. We are presenting this to 3 student athletes for the 2nd time ever. Last year was the first, ironically. So we have the 20th, 21st, and 22nd members of this community to receive this distinguished award. Danny always says how honored he is to give this award out. He recognizes how passionate our student athletes are here, and loves hearing about this. I want to read what's on the plaque, and then I'm going to play a video. The David Stiefel Spirit Award, it recognizes the spirit and camaraderie exhibited within the Bernard Zell Athletics Department as voted on by his or her coaches and athletic director. This player has proven his or her pure dedication and true enthusiasm through leadership, the ability to motivate others, genuine sportsmanship, and commitment to his or her team during practice and competition, things that Zoe talked about earlier, right? So without further ado, I'm going to switch over here, play a 2-minute video. 8th graders, pay attention, because you might win an award here. How cool is it that Eddie gets to fly around the city whenever he wants? Congratulations to our 3 very deserving 8th grade Stiefel Award recipients. We're going to attempt to highlight you and embarrass you a little bit, and everyone can watch you. I have your awards here for the 3 of you that we're going to present to you tomorrow at Shabbat lunch, so the whole school can see. But Matt, to start off, Matt Azulai, from day one, man, like you have been as committed and as dedicated as anyone that we've ever had, you know, with intramurals, with doing track in 5th grade. You really have been such an important part of this program. You, for the longest time, were probably the smallest athlete that we had. But that was the cool part, was that you never used your size as an excuse, or you never used your size as something that slowed you down, right? You have the biggest heart. You're no longer the smallest. You've grown and you've caught up to some people, and but yet that fierceness and that toughness is still in you, and you've participated that way ever since. You always show up first. You're at every practice. You ask good questions. You're determined. You're the kind of student that would run through a wall, and that's what I call coachable, right? That's what we look for, coachable students. Your volleyball skills have improved tenfold since 6th grade, to a point where I hope you really consider playing in high school, because you have a lot of skill in that sport, as with soccer. Matt, for those of you that don't know, is a great soccer player. He's the smallest kid out there, but he plays like midfield, right? Like where the ball is at, where all the action's at. Matt loves that. And so Matt, congratulations on winning the 2021 Stiefel Award for your toughness and for your grit. Ella Lewis. Now, there's a lot of people that could have won this award. A lot of girls that could have won it. And I think of Ella, and I think of someone that is so deserving of this. Ella is the 3rd of 3 in her family. I believe that between her and her 2 brothers, that family alone played 30 sports here at Bernard Zell. You are someone, Ella, that is a leader, but you do it quietly. You're not a rah person, and that's okay, right? Leadership comes in all forms and shapes and sizes. You approached this program not with a lot of confidence, I would say, and you were quiet and you let your skills kind of do the talking, skills which are very good. Your confidence continued to build. I remember coaching you in 6th grade, and you were someone that was our point guard, that ran the offense, that was a really rock solid defender, someone that was so important to our success as a team. You played on that 6th grade volleyball championship team and got minutes, right? You were on the floor, you were contributing. I can remember talking to Miss Pando about you. You took on more of a leadership role in 7th grade. You were a mainstay on the volleyball court in 7th grade. You didn't come off all that much. You were the leader of the basketball team. And a story that I want to tell you that everybody should know, and this certainly had something to do with you winning this award tonight, because it tells me so much about who you are. So in October, so everybody stay with me here for a minute. If we go back to, it would have been October of 19, okay? Is that right? Yeah, October of 2019. Maybe September, sometime back in 2019, in the fall of Ella's 7th grade year, I remember Hagit asking me when basketball playoffs were. Hagit, we're in the volleyball season right now. Basketball season's next, Hagit. This is volleyball. She said, no, when are basketball playoffs? I'm going to Israel. We're going back to Israel for February break, and we're going to leave early. And I want to know when basketball playoffs are. And I said, well, we don't know the exact date, but it's probably, the 12th and 13th and 14th, whatever that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was. And I said, it's September. I get it, that's far away and a couple months away, but what's the point? Why do you need to know? And Hagit told me that Ella, after not all that long of consideration, decided that because the trip to Israel was going to overlap with the 7th grade basketball playoffs, Ella was going to stay here with her teammates instead of going to Israel to see her family with her mother. And I remember being taken aback by that. Like, wow, are you serious? Wow, really? Really? All right. But that's exactly what Ella is. She's dedicated and she's committed, and 4 months ahead of time, and they made it to the championship game, as Zoe said. 4 months ahead of time, she already said, nope, I'm going to stay with my team and I'm not going to miss that. Israel will be there, but 7th grade basketball playoffs will not be. Ella, congratulations on winning this award. Last but not least, Cole Shashua. Dude, you've been at my Shabbat table since 3rd grade. You never stopped talking about athletics. You were putting lineups together for the student teacher basketball game back in 4th grade. You have been someone that has been filled with ideas and things that we can do better, and thoughtful reflection, and someone that wears Bernard Zell Athletics on your sleeve. It's in your heart. This is the first time we've ever had siblings win this award. But this is yours and only yours, and you have earned it. You lead with your voice. You are a rah-rah type of leader. We actually saw a little clip in the montage. I think it was Miles you were talking to, but just those little interactions, that's what you've done for so long here. A leader of the basketball team, someone that doesn't miss practice, someone that is mature beyond your years. You're good and you should be on the basketball court, but you're also mature enough to know this is about the team. And coach, if you need me to sit out because we need Nate Dubner in the game because he's a little bit taller and we need rebounds, you're going to be that first one to sit and cheer the loudest from the bench for Nate, even though he just went in for you. That's you, man. That's you, Cole. Congratulations. You deserve this. This award has had your name written on it for a long time. And I'm so proud of you and Ella and Matt. You all have earned this, and I hope your classmates will shower you with praise, and your parents as well. But thank you all for your dedication and your hard work. And we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll embarrass you in front of the school with your actual Stiefel award. All right. I don't know how it's already past 7 o'clock. I am sorry. I thought this was going to take like 45 minutes, but here we are. Thank you again for staying with me here. I have no idea what's going to happen next year, right? We don't have any idea. At minimum, we're going to do what we're doing now. At maximum, we're going to be back to what we were. We won't know that for a while. And we're going to continue to talk with other schools and see what's happening. And you'll hear from me. But what I do know is that we're going to have an 8th grade class next year. That's incredible. A 7th grade class that has been passionate so far this spring and is only going to improve that. And then a 5th grade class that is going to move up to 6th grade and join soccer and basketball and volleyball and all those things for the first time. Let's hope we're back competing and you're all in this gym watching your children compete, because that's what we want. Gifts. The fun part, you all receive a gift. Parents, you don't get anything except a hug from your kids. Kids, student athletes, you all get a gift. 5th graders, you've seen them before. The new ones have not arrived. They'll be here on Monday, I hope. But I'll make sure you all get a brand new Bernard Zell water bottle as a thank you for your participation. 6th graders, you are up for duffel bags. Those blue, navy and black duffel bags that you see around, those are going to be yours now. So I'll bring those around and pass those out to you. 7th graders, you've all seen that gray Bernard Zell Athletics hoodie. The 8th graders are always wear them. That's up for you now. That's your gift. So you'll get those. I'll bring those down to your Gibush and you'll get those. And then 8th grade, you'll get a brand new Under Armour shirt, long sleeve with our logo on the front, and then the class of 2021 on the back. It's important. It was not me that started that tradition of giving gifts, but I think it's important. And it's neat swag to have. You bring it to camp, you bring it to school next year, whatever you want to do with it. But appreciate that and enjoy it, and know that what we did together this year, nobody else was doing. You made this happen. We together made this happen. And what a night to celebrate what just 2 months ago looked pretty bleak. We have a fun run tomorrow. 6th grade girls and boys volleyball training on Monday after school. And the student teacher volleyball game Wednesday at 12:30, which is after school. So we do have some more events coming up for you to enjoy. But at this point, it's beautiful. I keep looking that way because I'm looking at the Chicago skyline as I speak, and it's gorgeous outside. Go out for a walk and reminisce about this season. Talk about 8th graders, talk about your journey. 5th graders, talk about what you think is coming up and everything in between. Thank you again to Colleen behind the scenes for spotlighting, and to Ryan for all that video work, which is phenomenal, and we'll cherish. And you'll see on social media, and you'll be able to watch again. And we've recorded this presentation for those of you that weren't able to make it, and we'll share that out as well. But that's enough for me. It is 7:10. My time is up. Thank you again for joining tonight for a wonderful season, and see you all very soon. Good night.